Habitat for Humanity of McLean County has a new executive director, Jolene Aldus. She assumed the position in September and is bringing the nonprofit into the new year. WGLT's Melissa Ellen spoke to Aldus about plans for 2024 and her recent appointment.
I am new to the role, and prior to my executive director role, I spent about a year as the development director, and I really spent that time, which really wasn't that long ago. So I spent that first year really learning the organization, learning the operation, building relationships with our volunteers, our staff, and our supporters. So I spent that first 12 months doing that. So in this role, I'm just kind of doing more of the same. I'm doing a deeper dive, and my immediate goals are to really educate myself a little bit more. It's a very multi-layered organization and operation, so I'm focusing on education for myself so that I can continue to educate and be a good leader to our team, because without them, we can't do what we do.
What does Habitat for Humanity provide for the local community?
Ultimately, we build houses for families, for low-income families or families in need, in short.
With that in mind, coming off of 2023, what would you say were some of the organization's biggest accomplishments?
There's a lot to celebrate from 2023. Like I said, I spent some time in the development role and then transitioned to the executive director role. And throughout that entire time in 2023, we reached some pretty big milestones. Our Women Build chapter celebrated its 20th year, which is its 20th home that has been able to build for a family, for a local family. So that was a big accomplishment. We also broke ground on our very first duplex, our multi-family unit. So we were able to serve more families at one time with a lot that we had large enough to do so. So that was a big accomplishment, as well as our first fully accessible ranch home that we were able to build this year. And we had our first fully sponsored healthcare house, which was sponsored by Carl Broman. So a lot to celebrate.
Where can people look to see Habitat for Humanity's impact?
If you're looking to see where the houses are that we build, they are anywhere in McLean County. We do have, you can go to our website and you can see the nearly 200 homes that we have built over the past almost 40 years now. But specifically, the majority of where you can see our homes are on the west side of Bloomington. We do have a handful in Normal. We have a couple out in rural areas like Leroy. But primarily the west side of Bloomington is where you can see where our houses are built. Another impact that's sort of an indirect impact is at our Restore on Washington. So the Restore, if you're not familiar with it, is a retail store that resells donated household items and construction items from residential and or commercial donors. So you can go there. It's a giant warehouse. Some have said, with no disrespect, it's just a giant garage sale. So you can see the impact made there because the proceeds from the Restore actually help us build the homes that we build. But it's also serving a community that otherwise might not have opportunity to buy certain household items. So we sell them at a deep discount.
How many houses would you say, and it probably varies by year, but on average, that Habitat for Humanity is building?
So we will, fingers crossed, reach our 200th home this year in 2024. We are slated to build number 1, 98, 99, and 200. And being around for almost 40 years, we celebrate 40th next year. So that averages out to be about 5 per year, let's say, and that's pretty good. So this year we did build 5. Next year we really only have the means to build 3. So we're not heading in the right direction, and that's the kind of the support we need, is to be able to get back up to that average of 5.
And I think that brings us nicely to the next question I had, which is heading into 2024, what is on the docket, expanding on those goals other than the 3 homes?
Yeah, so we have, like I said, we're launching our 200 for 200 campaign. So we're seeking to raise around $200,000 so that we can complete that 200th home. And then we're going to roll into our 40th year. And I'm not sure what that will bring, but my goal as the executive director is really just to focus on the quality of the home. These are very well-built homes, but the quality of service we're providing the families, the experience that they're receiving, the quality of leadership I can provide the staff and the volunteers and any of the supporters. So I'll focus on quality versus quantity, let's say, but I would ultimately like to at least build 1 more home than we did the previous year. So we'll just kind of start small and walk before we run.
And you mentioned donations. Are there any other ways that people in the community can get involved?
If you can't or don't have the means to do a monetary support, there's a lot of other creative ways to give. which you could also find on our website. But I mean, like shopping at Kroger or shopping at Walmart, there's some programs there that allow you to kind of round up your change or give back in that way. The Restore is a main one. So if you don't have the ability to help financially, you can at least donate your items to the Restore, because we resell those, and those proceeds go back into our housing initiatives.
And then was there anything I did not ask about that you wanted to add that people should know about?
No, I would be remiss to say if I didn't say or mention that without lots and land, we can't build on, we need the lots and land to build on. So without that, we can't do what we do. And we get much of our land donated by estate planning or estate gifts or planned giving, also in partnership with the city and the town for infill. So we have a lot of good resources in that regard. But I just want to make mention that with that, we're actually able to produce tax revenue for the city and the town, which is good because that helps them put that money back into their housing initiatives locally. So the impact, all that to say is the impact goes beyond the families we serve. We're actually helping build a more prosperous community.
That was McLean County's Habitat for Humanity Executive Director Jolene Aldus speaking with WGLT's Melissa Ellen. More ways to help Habitat for Humanity are on their website. Aldus says there are also updates coming soon to the Restore, including new floors and new products.